Michael in Imperial Beach, California, watching Free Speech TV on DirecTV. Hey, Michael, what's up?
Hey, Mr. Hartman. Okay, anything goes summer.
Right.
Okay, I was wondering your thoughts on how the Middle East men greet each other by kissing each other on the cheek 3 times, while Americans stand 3 feet away at arm's length and just shake hands. What does that show us about each other's cultures? What do you think?
Well, I think it shows a lot about each other's cultures, and I think I can explain it.
Fire away.
Okay. American culture is an extension of European culture. In Europe, people were at war with each other for years and years and years. The wars tended to be nation-state wars, but the right-handed handshake originated apparently around 1,000 years ago in England, as I recall. I mean, I remember reading a whole long thing on this, a history of it, as a way of saying, I don't have a weapon in my hand, right? So it was a way of saying I'm safe. On the other hand, in the Middle East, rather than nation states, you're looking at tribes. You're looking at people who are more closely related. It's what's called a hospitality society. You gain status in Western Europe and in the United States and in the Western culture by acquiring stuff. You gain status in tribal, what are called potlatch societies was the Indian word, but hospitality societies in general. I had a long talk with an Iranian actually over the weekend about this. How people don't understand Iranian culture. It's a hospitality culture. You gain status by giving things away, and you insult somebody if you don't take their gifts. And so, in that kind of a culture, having, being tight with people, being tight with your family, your clan, your tribe, your neighbors, is like really, really important because you're all dependent upon each other for survival, and there's just this sense of very, very, very strong sense of community, which is, I think, one of the reasons why when we invaded Iraq and Afghanistan and blew up their governments, that rather than them coming together as individual nations, the way that Rumsfeld thought they would and the way that L. Paul Bremer thought they would and all the other libertarians, this is going to be this great libertarian experiment. Get rid of the government and watch people come together. Instead, what people did is they fractured into tribes because they really had never been nations. They were artificial boundaries that held together large groups of tribes. And in Iraq, it's not just like, Sunnis and Shia. I mean, it's literally hundreds of individual tribes going back hundreds or thousands of years and having individual tribal identities and in many cases variations on language and even, variations on some of their religious practices and whatnot. Does that make sense, Michael?
Of course. But
yeah.
Now, here's where dogs come in. Now, dogs, when you heal a dog, it's always on your left, I believe.
Yeah.
So that gives you your right hand free to shake. Otherwise, if I don't like you, my dog's going to attack you, right?
Right. So you think that healing dogs on the left is kind of a variation? When we were using dogs as weapons as well as friends, that's a variation on that?
Totally. No, I think.
Yeah, it makes sense. It makes perfect sense. That's interesting. Yeah, and we have this new puppy. We're just teaching him to heel. And I didn't realize it was supposed to always be on the left. I'll have to talk to Louise about that. She's the one who's interacting with the dog trainer. But anyhow, Michael, thank you for the call.